We're back once again. Time now for our Neblett, Beard, and Arsenault Legal Difference segment. Attorney Wes Gralapp joins us once again on the phone as we continue our discussion about compensation for injuries after one suffers an accident. So, Wes, thanks for joining us once again on the phone. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, Mark. I'm happy to be here every Thursday and try to help our viewers understand what happens when they're in an accident.
Yeah, and a lot of people, of course, have to deal with automobile accidents. And we'll start with this one. What if my health insurance covers my bills? Do I get compensation? You want to touch on that first?
Sure. Oftentimes when you're involved in an accident, your bills may be covered by your health insurer. Most people have health insurance either through their employer, or some people have Medicare or Medicaid. It's perfectly okay to use your health insurance to pay accident-related medical bills, as long as you understand that if you're compensated by an automobile insurer for the damages you sustained, then you owe that money back to your health insurer.
What about the compensation for lost wages, Wes?
The law provides that if you miss work as a result of injury sustained in an accident, then you're due to have those lost wages reimbursed. It's advisable to anyone that is involved in an accident and they have to miss work that they speak with their employer in advance and let them know, and that they will be called upon to provide evidence of what their earnings were and how many hours they missed or how much pay they missed, so that they can use that as evidence in their claim against the insurance company for lost wages.
Okay, Wes, what is loss of earning capacity? What is that?
Loss of earning capacity is when someone suffers a permanent injury and disability as a result of an accident, and they can no longer perform the job that they once did because they're physically restricted or unable to perform the activities they once did. So loss of earning capacity means that if you were at one time able to do something and your pay was $20 an hour, but now you can only earn $10 an hour because of limitations sustained from the injuries in the accident, then you're entitled to get future lost wages because of that loss of earning capacity.
All right. What about compensation? What can I seek as far as compensation goes for pain and suffering following an accident?
Pain and suffering is a large part of compensation owed to an individual after being involved in an accident that someone else causes. And pain and suffering is exactly that. It's the pain. If you break your leg, it hurts. And the law requires that the at-fault party and their insurance company compensate you for that pain.
Yeah, and I was going to follow up with that. What does pain and suffering involve? And you touched on that a little bit.
It also involves mental anguish, and just the stress and whatnot that's involved in having been in an accident where you're losing money, you're hurting, and your loved ones are suffering.
Yeah, and that leads me to another question. As far as my loved ones, are they entitled to compensation?
They are. There's a provision under the law. It's called loss of consortium, and that means if your wife or children are suffering as a result of the injuries that you sustained, and they're missing your companionship, or they're having to fulfill household duties that you ordinarily provide, then they're entitled to compensation under the law. There's not significant compensation because, first and foremost, we're all obliged to one another in our family to take care of people in thick and thin. And so when the law considers compensation, they also consider that you have a moral obligation to your family members to take care of them when they're not well.
Yeah, and can I seek compensation for a loved one who died because of a tragic accident?
Yes, you can, Mark. Those are damages for wrongful death, and that is a topic that would probably take an entire segment. One we should probably cover next week.
Sure. Okay. We will touch on that next week then. Wes, thanks for joining us once again. If people have any questions about what we covered today, best way to get in touch with you?
Give us a call at Nebula Beard and Arsenault, 561-2500.
Got it. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate it once again.
Thank you.
More to come. We're going to visit with Kara Edwards over at the Treehouse Museum shortly. Stick around.